What's up, Deadsiders? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the 1.0 update, the things that I've been enjoying about the wipe, the things that I haven't really been enjoying about it, things I hope to see improved upon in the future or worked on. I know the studio isn't very open with their roadmap and a lot of the future updates, so I don't know if some of this stuff is planned or already being worked on. I might just be like kicking a dead horse here, but I just wanted to go over some of the things I think they could really improve upon that will really help drive this game to be the great game that it is. This isn't me saying this game sucks or I'm hating on it. I've been playing this game way too many hours every single day and honestly having so much fun with it. These are just my thoughts and concerns and general ideas about the direction of the game and what I think they could do just to button it up and make it feel more complete. So one of the first big changes that they've done in this 1.0 update is they've added vehicles, motorcycles, and kind of like a utility truck, a Jeep. I am such a fan of these things. The fact that you can find them at almost every monument and on the sides of roads, the ability to be able to traverse across the map and travel finally instead of having to run your ass all the way there is such a godsend. But the audio for these things, it is not good. It is pretty ass, and it kind of takes you out of the fun a little bit because you can hear a motorcycle from like 2 miles away. It makes no fucking sense. Not only that, there's not really any distance to the audio. It always just kind of sounds the same unless the bike is within like 50 feet of you. And it's kind of a pain in the ass when you're trying to find somebody. Like I've had to run a grid to find a motorcycle and that makes no sense. I just want a little bit of dynamics with the audio. A little bit of change there would make such a difference with these vehicles, being that they are such a good part and such a good addition to the game. Just the tweaks of the audio would be awesome. Other than that, I am really enjoying the vehicles and I'm really excited to see what they do with them in the future, if they're going to add more types of vehicles or just the improvements that they make on them, because they are such a mainstay for this game now. Honestly, a really good update. The next thing I want to talk about is the raiding. This has been some of the most fun I've ever had in Deadside, just being a part of a counter raid, raiding myself, or getting raided. In the past 3 days of playing, I have been raided 3 times. I have been to multiple counter raids, and I've honestly just roamed up and sat with binoculars and watched a raid unfold, and it's just wild. The fact that you're able to get explosives so fast now, the fact that the building materials are harder to get and bases don't seem as sturdy as they used to, and the fact they got rid of raid tokens, thank fucking God. It just adds so much dynamics to the gameplay. The fact that we can actually raid and have online raids and PvP now, and even offline raid. As much as people hate them, it's a great mechanic and feature to a survival game like this. It really makes your shit feel valuable, because you're putting so much time into earning these things. To lose them overnight is such a pain in the ass. It just makes you want to keep playing, keep grinding, and keep building that base of yours. There are some tweaks and things that I think need to be worked on. I had an instance in my last video, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I eco-raided a base that I stumbled upon. It had a twig wall. It takes 1 axe to break through that shit. I did that. Within the next hour or so of me raiding this base, the base owners logged back on. Because they logged out in their base, their bodies just go invisible and their player character stays in the base. Even though I destroyed their sleeping bags, I took over their tool cupboard, they were still able to just spawn inside my house. I took it over completely. I took out all their doors. I had locks on the doors, everything. So the loot was fine, but I had to sit there for about 3 to 4 hours as one by one they logged back into the game, and I would come home to a man just sitting in my fucking house. This needs to be fixed or worked on in some sort, because I want to be able to break into a house and then use it as a flank base or an alternative base. I don't want to have to just divvy up the loot and get the fuck out of Dodge. I want to actually be able to have utility to bases that I've raided and be able to use some of their assets. The fact that you can't get rid of a player from logging into your base is so silly to me. Like Rust does it very well, where when you log out, your character just sleeps on the floor. And I know this is hard on performance, but there's gotta be a way to make this work, a certain system that can be implemented so that if maybe you're removed from a tool cupboard or your bag has been destroyed or something, it now spawns you outside of the build radius the next time that you log in instead of in the base. It would just be such a quality of life feature that would just help streamline the gameplay and get rid of these weird occurrences, because it was funny the first time, but after like 3 or 4 people spawning at my house, I was so fucking over it. I just wanted it to be done with so I can continue playing the game and not have this worry in the back of my mind. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the new crafting system. I'm a huge fan of it, and I'd really like to see it expanded upon. I do like the weapon durability and armor durability of the game now. Also the changes with backpacks, the fact that I'm able to carry armor and kits and guns in a bag now. I don't just have to buy everything. It's a really fun change. I have to use my workbench to actually disassemble weapons to help repair better weapons. It's a good feature. The one thing that I think could be really added to this is more attachments. I think you should be able to craft your own attachments. Like, say you took a flashlight and binoculars and you can make like a simple scope, or even like the computer parts mixed with binoculars and something. So like you get the electronics and the glass and the whatever. I think you should be able to make basic scopes as well as like basic attachments to kind of improve the guns, because so many of the guns now are so bad. The fact that there aren't suppressors and lasers and added attachments to this game like foregrips and stuff is also kind of an L to me. I would love to be able to craft like essential items. I think there should be like another workbench for crafting items, like advanced crafting items, and the workbench itself is expensive. So once you get your builder's workbench or whatever you want to call it down, you can now craft nails from sheet metal, or actually like repurpose other materials to use to make other materials, so your base building can be more prioritized, and you can actually make scopes for your guns, and you can make your traps and all those other things. Like, I think some of those things should be tiered behind a workbench, and that way you have more things to grind towards. That way there's more utility to some of the items, and there's more progression opportunity through that as well. And that brings me to the next point of like loot distribution and rebalancing. I know it was something that they were really prioritizing in this 1.0 update, and to me it just feels like some areas are so much better than others. I get there's a newbie area up towards the north side of the map, and down south is supposed to be your harder, more busy area, but it just feels like there's 5 grids on the map that are very profitable, and the rest of the grids are pretty tame, and it's hard to find essential items. I have to travel all the way up north sometimes to find some things, which is cool. Like, I like traversing the map, but at the same time, I don't think it should be the ground loot or like the open floor spawns that should be hard to find. It should be the stuff that's behind bunkers, and the priority should be do harder things and explore more, not have to run to the same monument every 15 minutes on reset to grab a pack of nails. Lastly, I'd like to talk about the AI. What the fuck happened? The AI wasn't exactly great before, I understand that. It is pretty basic. They chase you and they shoot at you, and they only have like 2 animations. I get it, it's really simple, but it's like they fed them crack or something, because these guys are so out of their minds now that you'll be like 300 meters away and a dude with a shotgun or a Makarov is just firing tracers past your head. And there's no way to infiltrate some bases, because you pull up, you're hundreds of meters away, and they instantly know where you are, and like 30 of them come charging out of the military base and run you down the fields, all shooting at you simultaneously. Like, it's ridiculous now. And of course the bloom on this Mosin is like 4 feet to the left, so I can't hit anything. And there's a wolf. Okay, I'm just gonna fucking leave. What is this game, brother? It's supposed to make the missions more challenging, and it most certainly does, but it doesn't make it challenging in a way that is entertaining or fun. It just makes it the most pain in the ass. You need to sit with like a proper fully green fixed Mosin with an 8x scope or whatever you can get your hands on. I don't know why they cranked them up so hard, but there's got to be a middle ground somewhere. I like how hard they are to fight. They are good with flanks. They do run proper flanks, and they push you accordingly, and like that stuff is good. It's just, why do they have spidey senses now? Like, why are they so so out of their minds. I'm sure some of you are sitting there like, okay, Grandpa, mad 'cause bad. You're mad 'cause bad, yeah. But I'm just going off of my first impressions of it, and also my communities, the people who have commented on my last couple videos talking about it and asking like what the fuck is going on. I've also seen a couple Reddit threads of it that people are asking these questions. I just wanted to kind of bring them up and talk about it a little bit. Feel free to voice your opinion in the comments. Let's have a conversation about this, because I would like to see how the community is feeling about these issues, or if they're even issues. Maybe I'm overthinking it. These are just my thoughts on the game. I really would love to see this game progress and become something more. It is headed in such a good direction already that I think with good community feedback and open conversations about this stuff to give the devs kind of a perspective into the minds of the community and what they're thinking about the game. This game has so much potential, and I would hate to see it just kind of be left stagnant and not correct some of these little issues that could really make this game more popular and just grow to become a household game that we would all love in the survival genre. So please let me know in the comments if there's anything I didn't touch on in this video, any issues you've been having in the wipe, maybe bugs or things you'd like to see fixed. Like, I would like to see a report button somewhere in the game, just to kind of help with that too, because there is some goofy stuff still. Just little things, you know. Let's have a conversation. Let me know in the comments what you think. Hit the like button, share to your friends on Discord. It does help grow the channel. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.